It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Bengals and the Ravens on Monday Night Prime Time.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we're at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On second down, here's the option. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right of the yard. Now, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gordon. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore's set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Gordon got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now Joe Mixon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Off play action. Gordon. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Gordon. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. He's got a man. It's his fullback. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession, only needing 2 yards on second down. Dobbins running out of the gun, and he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right to the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Gordon. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Porter gusted. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Throwing on 3rd and long. Gordon, hard throw, incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Bengals grab it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into the wall here, and they'll stop him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Bass is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. On 3rd down, Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, Gordon. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things. That's what people are looking for.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Back to Mixon on 1st down. Oh, nice move. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Time to go to work. Let's go.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Gordon. And he rifles one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Gordon. Over the middle. That's caught by Chase. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 15-yard line.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Gordon's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Throwing on 3rd and long. Gordon. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw. Gordon. He's got it. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Rodgers to return. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Jackson on 1st down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson.
He finds Bateman over the middle.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Following the fumble recovery, Gordon. It's caught here by Adams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Number 86. 1st and goal.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Gordon, touchdown! A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Ravens nothing.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
Rodgers on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was the Vikings who were able to get the victory at home. Jordan Love, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Trey Lance, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Takes it at the 7. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
To throw on second down. Gordon, the left side throw complete to Adams. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
First down, Cincinnati.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Gordon. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Off play action. Gordon. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking to throw. Gordon throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
An option handoff here to Mixon.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Here's a give to Dobbins.
Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact. To throw is Jackson.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Another run here with Dobbins.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now Dobbins. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
The coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Jackson going to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Throwing again. Gordon. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing
losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And the Bengals on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be third and forever. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Being chased out left.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you could actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play. That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Dobbins.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And some strong running. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Now Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. The quick slant caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3.
Dobbins.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Jackson's going to keep it.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for two. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the two. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a two-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here.
Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Gordon's throw taken in by Adams.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Gordon. Now he'll go deep down the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Bengals are on their way to a 2-0 start.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall been a pretty poor showing so far. But you've got to figure when you're down a bunch, why not take some big shots? And they connect on that one.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews from 3 yards out, and the Ravens get a bit closer.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Bengals offense returns to the field. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake. Gordon. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. The numbers tell the story. Not the best start, but it's not often how you start, it's how you finish. And since that start, he's been good.
Can you just imagine what was going on in the locker room with the defensive coordinator? Because things were working so well. His game plan was in effect. They were holding him down. He was off his game. But you just know that he was nervous at halftime because you don't hold a guy like that down for very long. And in this case, his fears were realized.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Jackson's throw hauled in by QT here.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Throwing, Jackson.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Gordon.
Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Bengals, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers.
You